Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
We gather today with you, rejoicing in your accomplishments, thanking God for what you stand for all of us. You stand for the future. You stand for our hope.
We'll take you on a graduation tour of Catholic schools in the Diocese of Springfield. These stories and more are just ahead on Reel to Reel. Hello and welcome to Reel to Reel. Thanks for joining us today as we celebrate the graduating classes of 2017, beginning with the first ever commencement exercises of the new Pope Francis High School taking place June 3rd here in St. Michael's Cathedral. Graduates of the class of 2017 filed into St. Michael's Cathedral for the 10 a.m. ceremony. They were the first to receive diplomas from Pope Francis High School following the official merger of the former Holyoke Catholic and Cathedral High Schools with this academic year.
These kids were leaders throughout the school year and helped us keep the train on the track. Not only put it on there, but keep it on. They were always positive. I think they realized early on that there was a much more diversity at school, twice as many kids, twice as many teachers, and it worked out for them, and I think they realized that early on.
While at Pope Francis High School, the graduates grew in faith, values, and academic excellence and social responsibility.
I was really edified by the remarks of the salutatorians and the valedictorians about both the changes that they experienced, but also the way in which they coped with those changes in a very positive way, reaching out to meet new friends in bringing the two schools, the two legacy schools, Holyoke Catholic and Cathedral High School together, and to have this wonderful endeavor now that is Pope Francis High School.
There were 2 valedictorians and 2 salutatorians for the class of 2017, each representing the legacy school they entered as freshmen. Valedictorian from Legacy School Holyoke Catholic was Adelina Martins. She said in her speech, even though the graduates began their high school years at 2 different schools, they had one thing in common, their faith.
The only reason we merged in the first place because we're both 2 Catholic schools, and the difference between us and any other public school is we can pray freely and we can worship God together.
Alexandra Stegmeyer was the valedictorian from the Legacy School of Cathedral High School. She said that even though many of her classmates were hesitant to accept the merger of the schools at the beginning of the academic year, they adapted, overcame, and ultimately flourished.
I came kind of with a bad attitude, so it was hard at first, but once I kind of opened up and got to know people more, I would still have wanted to graduate from Cathedral, but coming in, just changing your attitude, it changes your perspective. I was able to get through the year, and I'm glad to be here today.
And as the graduates threw their caps in the air, celebrating an end to one chapter in their life, they looked forward to a future bright with hope for many good things to come. Congratulations to this historic first graduating class. Now our graduation tour continues in Westfield at St. Mary's Parish, where it was a time to celebrate, reflect, and give thanks as St. Mary's High School seniors, dressed in green and gold robes and hats, received their diplomas. Julie Bollier has our story.
30 students received diplomas June 2nd during St. Mary High School's 114th commencement exercises at St. Mary Church. Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky had words of inspiration for the class of 2017.
So I urge you, as graduates of St. Mary's, as those who have been based in prayer and in service, never forget where your priorities lie. If it is with the Lord Jesus, if you can respond to him at the end of the day, yes, Lord, you know that I love you, then your lives are on the right track.
Valedictorian Casey Rutledge says she will treasure her years at St. Mary's.
My favorite memory would probably be my times on the cross-country team and all the group bondings we would have.
St. Mary's High School graduates say there's no bullying here, only support and acceptance. An international student from China, Wenjie Wang, was ranked second in his class.
I really enjoy my classmates. They are like the support of me, because as an international student, I come all the way from China, and I had a language barrier in the beginning, but I think I'm getting there.
Wang plans to attend Brandeis University in Waltham in an accelerated 5-year bachelor to master's degree program in business and enterprise management. His parents flew in from China to see him graduate. Roberta Rutledge was also pleased with the education both of her children received at St. Mary's.
Certainly the size of the school, a much more attentive staff. They get to know the students. They get to understand each individual student and what their needs are.
Head of school Nicole Nietzsche says the mission of the parish school is strong: to develop spiritual growth, academic success, character, and integrity in all students.
The future is bright for St. Mary's High School. We have committed students, committed families, and a very invested community. So we're excited about the future of St. Mary's High School, and we're also excited about the future of St. Mary's Parish School as a whole. People really believe in our mission, and we believe in our mission.
In Westfield, I'm Julie Beaulieu reporting for Reel to Reel.
And Julie tells us that all of the graduates from St. Mary's are going on to college. But senior year continues for a few as St. Mary's baseball team won their Western Mass Division IV title and are playing for the state title today. We'll have the results on iObserve and a story on this winning team next week on our show. Congratulations to all. And still to come on Reel to Reel, St. Joseph Central High School holds commencement exercises for the last time.
Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you don't.
And it was a jolly holiday with Mary as the Pope Francis players presented Mary Poppins. These stories and more are still to come on Reel to Reel.
The Chalice of Salvation, your weekly spiritual connection. I'm Passionist Brother Terrence Scanlon, your Chalice host, inviting you to take time out of your busy days and join us Sunday morning at 10. We welcome Father Christopher J. Watikas, pastor, and members of St. Mary's Parish in Longmeadow, and celebrate the most holy body and blood of Christ. The Chalice of Salvation, your spiritual connection, Sunday morning at 10, right here on TV 22 News.
St. Mary's Westfield, the school so many love. A family atmosphere permeates all we do. We offer a rigorous curriculum and high expectations, and we build character in our students through spiritual growth, academic success, sports, service, and other activities. Small class sizes, a dedicated faculty, and high-caliber academics provide a customized education. St. Mary's Westfield, where character counts. Call 413-568-2388.
Pope Francis High School is a coeducational college prep school which instills gospel values and fosters academic excellence to a diverse community of learners. We offer a rigorous academic curriculum, an international baccalaureate program, extracurricular activities, and acclaimed sports teams, proudly serving students of various cultural, academic, and religious backgrounds. Visit our website to learn more about our admissions process and placement test for incoming freshmen. Pope Francis High School, Chicopee. Your future begins here.
St. Joseph Central High School in Pittsfield held its final commencement exercises on Sunday, June 4th. For more than a century, the school has had a presence in Pittsfield. It's been at its Maplewood Avenue location for the last 75 years. Despite the closing, there were many tears of joy during the ceremony, which was the culmination of 4 years of hard work and dedication for the class of 2017. Steve Kultanek attended the graduation as well as a special alumni event celebrating the St. Joe legacy.
For the 19 graduating seniors from St. Joseph Central High School, June 4th was a day of mixed emotions. As the class of 2017 walked down the aisle of St. Joseph's Church to pomp and circumstance, there was a feeling of pure joy, knowing their high school careers were ending after 4 years of hard work. But there was also a sense of sadness, knowing that this 115th graduating class will be remembered as the last class from this storied Pittsfield institution, founded in 1897 as St. Joseph Academy. Last fall, the 120-year-old school announced it would close at the end of the academic year, citing changing demographics and limited financial resources. Principal Amy Jelinas was the first to address students, family, friends, and faculty.
We have had enormous challenges this year to remain strong and faithful, knowing our school is closing. It is a testament to the community of St. Joseph High School that we remained together and kept our faith strong through this emotionally challenging year.
Speaking next, salutatorian Teresa Kirsamagi echoed Jelinas' message.
Although we could not save our school, we as individuals have survived with dignity. We have retained the virtues characteristic of the St. Joe community. We have remained the supportive, loving, and service-centered community whose characteristics have always set us apart.
Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky, who concelebrated the Mass with other priests from the Berkshires, gave the homily.
We gather today with you, rejoicing in your accomplishments, thanking God for what you stand for all of us in this church today. You stand for the future. You stand for our hope.
For John O'Brien, chairman of the school's Board of Trustees, the day was more bitter than sweet.
It's sad. You know, there's the school closing is and the final graduation. There's a loss here. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. And I think the city of Pittsfield and the community is really going to miss the school.
Olivia Bullock is the class valedictorian.
Change is inevitable, and I think this is a change that we need to make the best of. Yes, we're losing our family and we're losing a big part of the community, but I mean, we need to move on.
For alumni, there was one final opportunity to walk the halls of their beloved alma mater. A week after graduation, former students, faculty, coaches, and parents all gathered in the school gymnasium one last time to reminisce about their Crusader years. The June 10th event was billed as Stairway to Heaven, a takeoff on Led Zeppelin's iconic rock song. For 4 hours, the doors were open to the public, giving everyone the chance to walk down memory lane. It cost $1 to get in, but many $10 and $20 bills could be seen in the collection jars. The admission proceeds will go toward the Sisters of St. Joseph Retirement Fund. Mike Messer, class of '76, said it was a real grassroots effort designed to be a low-key, fun-filled event.
So a few of us just thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could get everyone ever associated with the school to come back for one night right here in the building to see the school, walk the halls, see the memorabilia, and it'd be sort of the ultimate class reunion.
There was a cash bar, and music from the various decades was heard throughout the evening. Messer estimates that the crowd could have numbered 1,000 or more. There were many laughs, tears, and hugs, lots of them, as alumni reconnected with old classmates. The hallways were filled with all types of memorabilia. There were stacks of old yearbooks, which could be purchased for $20 each. Hundreds of candid photos were also available for the taking. For $10, you could own an official Crusader sports jersey. Some items will stay with the church or Berkshire Athenaeum. It's hoped that a rightful home will also be found for the hundreds of trophies awarded over the years. Gary Bianchi, class of 1980, coached the football team for 25 years.
St. Joe wasn't just classroom and books. They cared about people. They cared about kids. They made sure they took care of it. It was a big family. It made me a better person being here. And it's to see all the people coming back, it makes me feel good because it meant the same to all these people, and that's what it's all about, family and memories now.
One of Messer's fondest memories was when the '73 St. Joe hockey team shocked everyone by winning a state championship.
There was a party in this town like you couldn't believe.
At the boys' club, games against Cathedral or Pittsfield High were sellouts.
You couldn't even get into the games. They'd sell tickets here at the school days in advance. Have to wait in line.
Kathleen Quinn, class of '73, was captain of the cheerleading squad that memorable year.
This was my second family here, and the teachers raised us. They were amazing. The coaches and Sister Julie Sullivan, Sister Louise Thomas, Father Sneezik was like our dad. He was amazing.
But it's that special small school Catholic education, that relationship we had with our teachers, with the nuns, with the priests, and with each other. Very special. And you can see that here tonight, that spirit prevails.
The once a Crusader, always a Crusader belief will be carried on by alumni long after the evening ends. And the school credo, to know God, to pursue excellence, to serve others, was on the minds of these graduates as diplomas were handed out. Jelinas, who first became principal with his class 4 years ago, did the honors and posed with each student for a photo. Earlier, valedictorian Olivia Bullock surprised everyone with her unconventional graduation speech. She started to create with her hands and paintbrush what appeared to be an abstract image. Bullock commented that each splotch of color represented an experience, good or bad, but necessary to complete the final picture, which was symbolic of her high school career. When she flipped the canvas 180 degrees, the familiar image of St. Teresa of Calcutta was revealed. Bullock then uncovered the canvas's other side, a quote by St. Teresa.
Yesterday is past. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Thank you.
I look back on my journey through high school and I realized that, yeah, it was messy and it was crazy, but it really did all work together to create this entire picture at the end that eventually made sense to everyone.
Wearing the academic award she received over 4 years, Bullock said her St. Joe experience involved much more than academics.
But what really stuck with me was the chance I got to make so many different friends. And because it's so small, I got to know everyone in the school very, very well. And I think that was it's a very unique environment.
As for her foreseeable future,
Siena College, pre-med. I'm on the pre-med track. I'm hoping to be a surgeon.
Kirsimagi will be heading off to the University of Vermont, majoring in biological sciences. Like her classmate, her dream is to be a surgeon. She offered a final tribute to her classmates.
I salute you for your undying loyalty to each other and our alma mater. I salute you for the role each and every one of you has had in smoothing out my rough edges. And most of all, I salute you for the inspiration and comfort that you have been to the St. Joe community, and may you always brave the rough water with dignity, enjoy the sunny days with a smile on your face, and accept with confidence the change that is thrust upon you. Crusaders forever.
After a final blessing, the graduates exited to the church lawn, where they performed their last act as a class together, the ritual of tossing the mortarboards, reenacting what 114 classes have done before them. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
And Steve says all the proceeds from the sale of the various memorabilia will go toward the St. Joseph Legacy Scholarship Fund, which will be split for the next 3 years between the 3 underclasses. From 2021 onward, any income generated from the various investments will be awarded to a Berkshire Catholic school student or a relative of a St. Joe alum. 552 candidates received degrees during the Our Lady of the Elms College 86th commencement exercises at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield on May 20th. The class of 2017 included the college's first graduates in the School of Nursing's Doctor of Nursing Practice program. An outgoing president, Sister Mary Reap, gave her final commencement address. Julie Bollier returns now with the story.
Is an inspiration to all of us. I pray that our graduates sitting before us today will also find the key to meaning in their own lives and will follow that path as you have done.
It's been a wonderful experience for me being here at the college for 8 years. It's been a time of great joy for me, and I'm looking forward to retirement, of course, on the one hand, but on the other hand, I just hate to leave everything that Elms has come to mean for me.
The Board of Trustees of Our Lady of the Elms College has named outgoing president Sister Mary Reap the institution's first president emerita.
There are so many things that I'll miss, but obviously, most of all, I'll miss the people. The faculty, the staff, the students. It's just a wonderful community of people, and I've been blessed to have been a part of it.
Sister Reap announced last year that she would retire July 1st and Dr. Harry Dumais will be the school's 11th president. For the second time in Elm's history, 2 undergraduate students tied for a valedictorian. Hala Asari was born in Baghdad, Iraq, and received a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, minoring in both bioethics and Asian studies.
We hold the Elms College / Kochi University of Japan short-term student exchange program every year, and these are the best memories. We take in some Japanese exchange students, and then we show them, around Western Mass, and it's just pretty fun seeing other people, seeing our culture.
I'm actually expecting a lot from the class of 2017.
Hala will begin a Physician's Assistant Studies program at Bay Path University this June. Growing up in South Burlington, Vermont, co-valedictorian Tatum Bouchard received a Bachelor of Arts degree with a double major in graphic arts and computer information technology.
Well, my speech is really directed towards the students and talking about how we're all individuals. And it's incredibly overwhelming and awesome to be at the top of my class. It was not really expected. It kind of just snuck up on me. So it's very cool.
Bouchard is trying her shot in the job market. This year's salutatorian is education major Mary Kate Sullivan of Springfield. Like Tatum and Hala, these graduates face the challenge of finding a job or continuing their education. The 2017 honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker was Dr. Carolyn Jacobs. She is, among her many accomplishments, Dean Emerita of the Smith College School for Social Work.
I have watched the overwhelming need grow for people who are vulnerable and hungry and struggling. Perhaps the greatest issue today is undocumented immigrants and the concern to try and provide for all of God's children.
411 students received bachelor degrees. The college's first graduates in the School of Nursing's Doctor of Nursing Practice program received PhDs. This is Julie Bollier reporting for Reel to Reel.
Best wishes to all the Our Lady of the Elms graduates, and best of luck to incoming President Harry Dumais, who later this month will be the school's 11th president. Well, the story of Mary Poppins has dazzled many for ages. A magical nanny and a carefree chimney sweep prove to misbehaving children and their uptight parents that it's the little things that keep a family together. The Pope Francis High School players performed the Broadway musical version of Mary Poppins for their spring musical, and our own Catholic Communications intern, Lauren Brill, played Mrs. Banks in the production. As part of her senior intern project, Lauren spent 2 weeks learning the ins and outs of reporting and producing, and put together this story for her final project.
My fellow students and I have been hard at work since the end of March. This is the first musical that Pope Francis has put on. Everyone was so excited to take part in the production.
Every job when it's complete, there is a sense of bittersweet. The moment when you know the task is done.
Freshman Elizabeth Bess portrays Mary Poppins. She admits that in trying out for the play, she was terrified of public speaking and had mixed emotions when she learned she was cast as the lead.
I just didn't know what to say. I was like, okay, I just couldn't stop smiling. I don't know, I was so scared, but at the same time, I really wanted to do it. I was afraid to have that big of a role, but I still knew, I can't say no. I have to, try.
Over the rooftop, stepping time. Over the rooftop, stepping time. Never need a raise, but never need a run.
Over the rooftop, stepping time.
Mary Poppins takes place in London, England in 1910. A set needed to be built to reflect the time period. The actors had to focus on an authentic accent. Christopher Carey plays Bert, The Chimney Sweep.
Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go places you've never even dreamed of.
I listened a lot to the different Broadway and off-Broadway tracks of the character Bert, as well as receiving a lot of direction from our musical director, George Oliver, and most specifically the director of the show, John Anziano. And I felt as though preparing for the role, I was really able to meld the character with who I am, and it made a really important and really significant experience that really helped me to grow as a person, as well as helping to go forward and really learn the role.
The musical is not exactly like the movie that stars Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews. In this particular version, Pope Francis Jr., Joseph Fernandez, says he was challenged to depict the very stern father.
I know if a man puts any value on real life, then as far as you're concerned, he's a washout. But I'm afraid I do value the temperament.
As crazy as this sounds, I actually thought about my family. My family has a bunch of characters. We're all a little wacky in our own way. So I thought to myself, what would my mother do in this situation? I just really stretched it out. I look back in history, all the soldiers in Britain and Germany and the United States, how they always were shoulders up, head back, legs close together, and I kind of incorporated that into the physical movements of George Banks.
And as for his best people, well, I'd like to say, no thanks.
I played Winifred Banks, the mother. I was happy to be able to portray Winifred because it shows the evolution of women in that time period.
George, dear, I know it hurts your pride, dear, but you can't just run and hide, dear. Why can't you see that I'm here and I am on your side?
As you can see, there's a lot happening on the stage, but there's even more happening behind the scenes, from lights to set changes to makeup to costumes. Director and producer John Anziano says with Mary Poppins there came a lot of challenges.
It's a big production that involves just about every aspect of the theater that you can think of. There is obviously singing, dancing, acting. There's some magic in the show that caused some challenges for us that we were able to overcome. There's comedy, there's tragedy, there's drama, there's a teeny bit of romance. So it was the type of production that really calls for a lot of talent. And we're very fortunate here at Pope Francis High School to have a lot of talent.
All the students from the cast, crew, costumes, and makeup had a great time putting on the production, and all the returning students are looking forward to next year's production. For Reel to Reel, I'm Lauren Brill.
Great job, Lauren. I got a chance to see the show and it was really amazing. Hats off to the Pope Francis players. There's some real talent there. And congratulations to Lauren, who graduated as part of the Holyoke Catholic Legacy School at Pope Francis. She will be heading off to Hofstra University this fall, majoring in broadcast journalism. And for this week, that's Reel to Reel. For updates anytime, you can find information and news on the Catholic Church, both here in the Diocese of Springfield and around the world on our news and information site, iobserve.org. And also be sure to friend us on Facebook, where you will be able to travel with our reporters as they work on stories for Reel to Reel and get the latest news on the Catholic Church. Like us at Catholic Communications. Also, if you have not done so already, please consider making your donation to the annual Catholic Appeal. This one fund drive helps to support more than 40 ministries and agencies right here in Western Massachusetts. So please consider making your gift today. I will be back at this same time next week for another edition of Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you. See you then.
Reel to Reel is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.